Welcome back to Factorio SpaceX Extreme. Right, first things first, what I am going to do is, I've talked about it often enough, and now that I haven't just died, by the way, let's just make that one thing straight, but now that I have, why do I have so much junk in here? Oh, I've got oil tanks as well and all sorts. I don't think I need all of these pumps, do I? Or oil tanks, or oil tankers, just at the moment. Or fancy concrete, or stone brick. What am I going to do with stone brick? And I got far too many of those things. Right, what I do want though is I am going to steal 2 of those, and I'm going to steal just 2 of these. And I also hang on, do I have another? No, let's grab that as well. Let's grab a night vision. And let's also go and get 4 look, we're actually halfway through that. Let's go and get 4 more personal RoboPorts Mark II. Which one's Mark II? That's Mark II. You're not building for some reason. Oh, you need 100 processing units. That's a pretty good reason. Or maybe I'll experiment with 3 and make a couple of batteries. Yes, I need processing units for that. Yeah. I don't really want to bring up a whole lot of processing units, but I suppose I can, if there are any left down below. Let's just get rid of some of this stuff. Oh no, don't give me belt. I don't need belt. It wasn't actually my plan to build this suit. Well, maybe it was, because I left myself there. I didn't die. Not that it really matters if I do or not, but I didn't in this particular case. You can just order in, there we go, 100 of those. You're probably not going to get them in a great hurry, but that doesn't matter. And you can operate if processing units wherever you are is less than 100. So that will build those things. The only problem is we probably have absolutely no or very little processing units available. Which kind of means that these things are going to be hard to do. What is going on here? So what I wanted was this kind of setup, a night vision. Oops. We don't need those guys anymore. I don't need that anymore. So this will give us an alternate set of Mark II armor that should be better for laying down tracks and stuff, especially if we're sitting in a train and don't actually need all the legs. That's the idea, so we don't have to keep constantly putting the robots back into our manually, you know, clicking on them to put them back in our inventory so they cheat and auto charge. Hopefully this thing up here has built one more at least, maybe. You need 20, don't you? No, you need 100. Oh, fine. We'll worry about that later. What we're going to do today is we are going to jump in the engineering train, which is over here, and we're going to set up Independent Smelter East, or Independent Smelter 2. Yeah. Actually, so where were we going to put it? I decided here, I think. So if I go to copper D3, or head in the direction of copper D3, that will help. Help us self-drive there. Anyway, so yeah, what I've done with the sound is I've finally managed to be able to split the sound that I speak and the sound that the game is recording, the game sound. I've been able to split them up. Now OBS allows you to do this fairly easily, but what was happening was both my spoken voice and the game sound were mixed anyway. So I'd have a channel with just my voice, which was great, but I'd have the game sound and my voice, and it would also be echoing in my earphones, and stopping that, dare I say, as is usual with Windows, wasn't actually as simple as it should be. But I finally stumbled on something that seems to work, so hopefully I can start generating slightly higher quality sound with the volume levels balanced at least, which is probably the main point of it. And certainly there have been times when I've needed to do that because I haven't realized until way after that there was a need to do it, and unfortunately, because I'm well into wanting to play this game and see it through, it's really hard to try and keep up with the uploads, and so we're a significant number behind. a lot. I don't know exactly how many, but yeah, it's a lot. So it'll be a while before we actually catch up. But never mind, if I do another one, which I probably will, I'll do something interesting. Where are we? Oh, no, I don't want you to go up there. I want you to stop. Actually, let's keep going just a little bit further. So we're slightly out of the way. Let's stop about here. Okay. We're sort of partly out of the way, partly in the way. Now, how are we going to do this exactly? Here's our space. This is already highly compromised. To tell you the truth, oh, what's this guy? Why is a copper ore heading up here? Where did you go, copper ore? It's really quite hard to click on these guys. I think he did a loop-to-loop. Copper D4, yes, so if it wasn't for fuel needing to be supplied here and here, I wouldn't actually need this pathway, but what I do need is I need a way for the trains. So let's do this first actually. I need a way for the trains to jump from one side of the track to the other. So they don't feel that they need to do these silly looping around things. And ideally we probably want it as close. Well, it's probably too late by the time we get to here. So what I might do is I'll put one crossover here and one crossover here. So if they really feel like it's a life or death matter for them to move over from one lane to the other, do I need that? No, I don't need that. Actually, does that? No, it doesn't. So let's do one from here. That comes like so, and has one of those. And just to try and reduce I don't know if that helps. Not exactly sure how I should signal these bits. There we go. That should reduce the number of needing to go in a big circle that happens up there. Okay, so that's not actually the point of today's session at all. We haven't even started the point of today's session, have we? Right, what we need is lots of trees removed because they are seriously in the way. For one thing. Let's pop that down there. Give us a helping hand. And here we are out of power already. So yeah, I kind of like the idea in future of having all of the fueling at the smelter stack rather than, needing to supply every single ore. just seems to be a lot more efficient, although you need quite a lot of fuel to charge the system up originally. See, why is this guy heading off over here? Now, I would put the other armor in, except we need the speed in our legs as well, although with everything out, we're not really getting that speed. We must be getting a fairly good 243 to, no, it's only 450,000, it's not that good. 34,000 steel at least though. Life support, it's up to 20, that's good. Fuel cells 37, hull components 176. So I guess some of the cheaper ones are going to start finishing up fairly soon. You know what, no, if I take them out now, we'll probably lose all of our robots. And that's not going to do either. Here we go. Oh, and we're back to can't insert the raw wood. Well, you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and in this case using up some rail might be one of those ways. Sorry about that. Let's just make sure we're out of the blast radius. So maybe if we go over here about as far as we can, which should be somewhere like about here, use this guy. Either there or there, probably that one actually. Right, now with a bit of luck we will exhaust our rail enough to fit the rest of that wood. And by not taking out these long big poles, we have left enough of the existing infrastructure that was all connected up so that we don't need to do any wiring, which is fantastic. Guys, come on. Oh, we're full of wood again. Alright, well, now it is time to go and get our train. So we can bring it down here, and then we can start doing the good things. No, there's no room for your wood anyway, guys. Come on, come on, come on. I mean, I assume I am still short of steel in the main base. Apparently not. It's mainly circuits, so I'm actually concentrating on the wrong thing. Never mind, we do that sometimes. We build the wrong thing. Well, we've been perennially short of steel for most of this late phase of the game, so fixing that is certainly due. Oops, I can't go that way because a train's coming. No, it's coming down below, that's fine. Let's keep going then. So actually what I want is to get all these robots back, which isn't going to work until I unload their wood. Huh? There's no way my inventory can be full. Oh, it thinks I'm trying to mine something. How did robots end up down here? Never mind. Right, okay, so what I want to do is force this slot to only take armor. And then if you do that, you can actually change out your loadouts. So, in our new loadout, these guys are charging up, but when they're fully charged, they should be powered up for a longer period. Now, can we get away with heading in this direction? Maybe. Ooh, which direction is that guy going in? Yes, he's below us, that's good. What's going on in this little section up here? Unknown. It must have been deleted. It must have been theoretically placed and then deleted, so okay, we need the book. To place this one. I probably shouldn't have put it down, I should probably have kept it. Just so that we can get out of the way of the traffic up here. Right. So, now that we have done this, oh, we're missing a radar or something, aren't we? Doesn't appear to be any radars in there. Did I tell it to take off without radars? I may have done. And that may have been a mistake. Oh well, never mind. So we need to get rid of more trees. Now this is what happens when you've only got 2 legs, of course. You can't run around as fast, especially at less than half speed. But at least there's less robots sitting around needing charging, maybe. And I don't really want to turn this into tree clearing episode. So we need to progress to the next level. And that is going to be to grab a new blueprint, go to the map mode, whiz over to independent steel, and grab from about, whoops, grab from about here all the way down, not that external rail, but all of that. Tick. Back to here. And we'll run down in slow-mo. It's pretty hard to see. Oh, because we haven't got any radars. But if we were to place this about there, say, the supply outpost here is what we really need. Of course. And yes, even with that extra fusion reactors, we still can have robots needing charge. It's just the way of it. No ways around that. You need to be an outpost supply. Because you'll be our means of getting this thing built in its entirety. So this does not look like it's connected, but that's fine. We can connect it up. You probably need, well, you're going to need more than that, construction bots. Hopefully that green and red signal hasn't wrecked this whole thing. But anyway, what do we need? We basically need whatever's in here. I will do the rail with relatively low priority, so let's start off with 360 furnaces. 360, that's about 8 slots. 528 beacons. Which is about 53 slots, so we're up to about 61 slots. Power is very important, so let's get 211 medium poles. That's another 5 slots. 41 big poles. Which in theory should only be 1 slot, but probably won't be. 24 of these guys, which also could all go in 1, but probably won't. Let's get the inserters. How many of them? 1k. So that's 20 by itself. We do have a bit more room. Oh, we're going to need bots, aren't we? We're going to need sort of 200 construction bots and 1200 logistic bots, although we don't need them immediately, but let's order them in anyway. 1500 track. Maybe I'll just get 1000 track. And that might be enough. So that's like 7, 60, 65, 66, 67, 87, 91. 91, 103, 133. Maybe we could do something else. 1,000 speed modules, perhaps. Is that what it says? 1,000? Yeah. Okay. Let's order in the train. It seems to have registered that order. That's a good start. Move the engineering train down so it's kind of out of the way. We're almost out of rail. Certainly want to keep clearing trees though. So let's do that. We need all of these trees gone. They were a major cause of issues in the last steel smeltery that we set up. Okay, well let's get a couple more rails and that will give us room for some trees. Trees for rails seems a fair swap. More tree clearance, please. Alright, we are pretty low on space here, I must admit. How are we doing on our order? Let's just have a look. I'm a bit concerned that I've got the signal mucked up by virtue of there being those 125 green and red signals. Okay, we're going to have to sort that out. Let's go to engineering unload. At least we'll be able to get rid of the wood. I probably should have turned that off, but I can always come back and turn it on and off. It looks like what I'm going to need to do is see if I can just pull out the memory cell which has gotten corrupted and put it back down to get rid of this condition that's broadcasting the green and red signals, because they're kind of used as a clearing mechanism, and it's causing us some issues. I don't know exactly where it's being generated. That could end up being one of those things that I've got to track down and waste a bit of time on. So I guess I will do that between episodes, and next episode we will finish off Steel Independent Smelter 2. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.